A warm welcome to all my students. Today we shall study about India, mineral and power resources. In this chapter you will study about mineral and power resources. In this chapter we will learn about meaning and importance of minerals. Important minerals of India, their occurs, distribution and production. Power resources of India, meaning and importance. Conventional power resources, coal, petrol, petroleum and nuclear power. Energy crisis and remedies. These are the topics will be discussed in this chapter. And today's session you will learn about conventional power resources, petroleum and nuclear power, energy crisis and remedies will be discussed in this session. Petroleum. Petroleum is mineral oil which is composed of carbons. It is an important fuel as well as raw material for many industries. It is an important source of commercial energy and is largely used for transport. It provides raw materials for various petrochemical industry such as synthetic fiber, synthetic rubber, drugs, fertilizer, dyestuff, etc. Petroleum is a mineral oil and it composed of hydrocarbons, and it is an important fuel as well as a raw material for many industries. It is also an important commercial energy, and this is largely used for transportation. It provides a raw material for various petrochemical industries. The industries like synthetic rubber, synthetic fiber, fertilizer, dyestuff. Observe this picture, children. Petroleum. This is a picture of a crude oil which is later converted into a petroleum. And in these states we get petrol from Gujarat, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Assam, distribution. In India, most of the petroleum reserves are found in Bombay High and in the state of Gujarat, Assam, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Bombay High oil field extended in Arabian Sea near to Mumbai has the largest reserve of petroleum and has the highest production of crude oil in India. Gujarat is the second leading oil producing area in India. Bombay High is the most important petrol reserve in India, and the petrol is found in Gujarat, Assam, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Bombay High oil field extend in Arabian Sea near to Mumbai, and this is the largest reserve of petroleum and has highest production of crude oil in India. Gujarat stands second in leading oil producing area in India. It is important oil field are Ankaleshwar, Kambe, Kalol, Nagaon and Mehsana. Petroleum was first discovered in India at Makum in Assam. Formerly, Assam was leading producer of crude oil. Now, it ranks third. The main oil field are Digboy, Nahar Katia, Moran, Hagrinjan, Sibsagar, Rudrasagar. The other oil fields are located in basin and deltas of Godavari, the Krishna and the Kaveri River. India is not significant producer of petroleum. It has to import a large quantity of petroleum to meet its requirement. Oil fields are located in Ankaleshwar, Kambe, Kalol, Nagaon. And petroleum was first discovered in India at Makum in Assam. In the beginning, Assam was a leading producer of crude oil, but now it ranks third. The main oil field are Digboy, Nahar Katia, Sibsagar, Rudrasagar, and oil field is also located near delta region and basin region of Godavari, the Krishna and the river Kaveri. India is not a significant producer of petroleum. We have a shortage of petroleum, so we import petroleum from other country to meet our requirements. The places where petroleum are located, the most important, Bombay High, which is in Arabian Sea near Mumbai in Maharashtra. Digboy, Ankaleshwar, and the first petroleum located in India was Makum. Next, hydroelectricity. Electricity generated from the force of falling water is called hydroelectricity. It is renewable, cheaper and has higher calorific value than coal and oil. It keeps machines clean and it can be easily transmitted. India does not have adequate fossil fuels such as oil, coal and natural gases. Hence, there is a need to develop hydropower. Besides, the factors favorable for the development of hydropower are found in India. Hydroelectricity means electricity generating from the force of falling water is called hydroelectricity. It is renewable, cheaper and higher calorific value than oil and coal. It can be easily transmitted and it can also maintain the machine clean. As there is a shortage of fossil fuels in India, we depend upon hydel power. Besides these factors, the development of hydel power are, are favorable in India. The first hydroelectricity power plant in India was installed at Darjeeling in West Bengal 1897. But the real generation of hydel power was started with the hydel power stations at Shivanasamudra on Kaveri River in 1902. The first hydroelectricity power plant in India was started at Darjeeling in West Bengal in the year 1897. So observe this picture, children. The first hydroelectricity power plant in India was installed at Darjeeling in West Bengal in the year 1897. But real generation of hydel power was started with the hydel power station at Shivanasamudra on Kaveri River. Observe this picture, children. This is a picture of hydel power station at Shivanasamudra on river Kaveri, which was established in the year 1902. Though the first one was hydroelectricity was at Darjeeling in West Bengal, but the real hydel power started at Shivanasamudra on the river Kaveri. Nuclear power. The energy generated from the atomic minerals is called nuclear power. In India, the demand for energies have increased. However, the production of power is not enough to meet the requirement. Hence, India formulated the program of nuclear power production. India has large reserves of atomic minerals, example uranium and thorium, which are required for the generation of nuclear energy. It is also has the technical know-how. The first nuclear power plant was set up at Tarapur 1969. The energy generated from the atomic minerals is called nuclear power. Day by day, the demand for the energies are increasing. The production of power is not enough to meet its requirement. India formulated this program of nuclear power production. India has a large reserve of atomic minerals like uranium and thorium. And the first nuclear power plant was set up at Tarapur in the year 1969. There are 7 nuclear power plants in the country. There are Tarapur near Mumbai in Maharashtra, Rana Pratap Sagar near Kota in Rajasthan, Kalpakkam near Chennai in Tamil Nadu, Narora near Narora in Uttar Pradesh, Kakrapara in Gujarat, Kaiga near Karwar in Karnataka, and Kudankulam in Tamil Nadu are the nuclear power plants. So there are 7 nuclear power plants in India. First one, Tarapur, Rana Pratap Sagar, Kalpakkam, Narora, Kakrapara, Kaiga, Kudankulam are the 7 nuclear power plants located in India. Here are the location of few nuclear power plants in India. Narora, Kalpakam, Kaiga, Tarapur. So these are the important nuclear power plants located in India. Need for non-conventional power resources. In India, non-conventional power resources are found in abundance. They are renewable, pollution-free and eco-friendly. They can be conveniently supplied to urban as well as rural areas. They are capable of meeting the requirements of power in India. In recent years, rate of energy consumption has increased and thus there is an urgent need to develop of alternative power resource in India. As non-conventional power resources are plenty, they are also renewable, pollution-free and eco-friendly, and they can be conveniently supplied to urban as well as rural area. And they are capable of meeting the requirements of power in India. So it is an alternative power resource in India. Energy crisis. This is one of the problems of India these days. There is a great demand for energy, but the production of energy is not sufficient. This causes energy crisis in the country. It has adverse effect on industrial, agriculture, transport, trade, etc. The reasons for energy crisis. Reasons. The main reasons for energy crisis are major deposits and shortage of petroleum, poor quality of coal, erratic rainfall, hence shortage of water for the generation of hydroelectricity, loss of power in the process of transmission and limited use of non-conventional energy resource. Meager means thin, less. We have less deposits as well as shortage of petroleum. Poor quality of coal, erratic rainfall, uncertain rainfall. Hence, shortage of water for generation of hydroelectricity, loss of power in the process of transmission and limited use of non-conventional energy resources. Remedies. Measures to solve the energy crisis are: increase the production of petroleum and coal. Steps to be taken to have substitutes for oil and coal. Importance must be given to increase water power generation. Greater use of non-conventional sources of energy. So measure to solve the energy crisis. First one is to increase the production of petroleum and coal. And we have to take steps to use the substitutes for oil and coal. Increase the water power generation and the greater use of non-conventional sources of energy. Assignment. Explain the distribution of petroleum in India. In India, most of the petrol reserves are found in Bombay High and in the state of Gujarat, Assam, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. You can also mention these places which have been mentioned in the slide: Ankleshwar, Kambe, and in Assam, Makum, Digboy, Sibsagar, Rudrasagar, and the deltas and basin of Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri River. These places can be mentioned. Mention the nuclear power station in India. You have to list out all the 7 power stations. So remember, mention all these 7 power stations: Tarapur, Rana Pratap Sagar, Kalpakam, Narora, Kaiga. So these places can be mentioned. Draw an outline map of India and mark the name, the petroleum and nuclear energy producing places. Now I have listed out few places and the map is also displayed. You can see those and draw the outline map of India and mark those places. Is that clear, children? Thank you. We will meet in the next session with a new lesson.